So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming a man who seems to wake up every morning determined to expose, frustrate, and enrage the left, and who goes to bed each night confident in the knowledge that he has done exactly that. Andrew Breitbart.
Start on a frustrated note. I just asked how old Guy was. He said he was 25. Then as Stephen was getting off the stage, he said 23. I just turned 42 last week. And I remember maybe 2 years ago being called the youth movement of CPAC. I want to acknowledge a few things that have happened over the last year in my obsession with taking down the institutional left by making the media's lives uncomfortable. I swear all I knew about unions was the jingle "Look for the Union" label before Barack Obama came into my life. I mean, you gotta understand, let's put this into some perspective. I'm from Los Angeles. I've never claimed to be that deep. I kind of describe myself as Holly Golightly with a gut. And so I walk around and I maybe I saw hotel protests, but I really didn't pay attention to them. But something started to happen when Barack Obama, the community organizer, started to run for the presidency, and we started to notice that, well, once Acorn was gone, there was this group by the name of SEIU that I swear to God I'd never heard of before, and they were everywhere. And wherever they were, there were Organizing for America, which used to be Obama for America. I'm like, well, I don't understand. Who are these people? I don't understand why they're allowed to take these public sector union people to send them in buses to go to places to protest the people who are against Obama. I mean, isn't there something kind of weird that the media doesn't point out this weird collusion of the political class and of the President of the United States and a candidate, that they're using these thugs? Well, thankfully, I learned something during the Acorn stories. I now call it a bar trick, and I've been using it to a great benefit. My friend Gary Houston, who's been helping me with the Pigford story, and I want to thank him. He also helped with Acorn and a lot of other stories. Just a friend I went to high school and college with, which is the narrative of what my sites are. It's regular citizens that help us report the stories that the mainstream media refuses to do. Well, Gary called me up at the height of the Acorn scandal, and he was going to get a shovel at OSH, the Home Improvement Center. And he said, "Andy, you've got to get down here. It's in West LA, and it's probably about 3 miles away from my house." He goes, "Acorn is protesting right now in front of the Fox television affiliate. Right now, right at the height of the Acorn scandal." I was like, "Where? On Bundy, across from OSH?" He said, "That's the Fox affiliate. Fox News is about a block and a half away." I said, "What are they doing protesting American Idol?" That doesn't even And so I raced in my car to get down there, and as I got there, I saw them chanting, "We are Acorn, mighty, mighty Acorn." Started to realize that they won't talk to you, that they have a set of prepared chants, just like SEIU. None has a mind of their own. In fact, I can show you the videos to prove this, so when I say this, the people that I've confronted at these things to a person are monsters. I swear to God, the second they take their Acorn shirts off, they're calling you names. They're saying the meanest things human beings can possibly say. I mean, I really can't describe to you what this community organizing group Acorn is about, when out of every office out of one, they helped a pimp and a prostitute set up an underage sex slave operation. Then when you meet them at OSH, well, across the street from OSH, and you see that they're trying to do a defense, a community organizing defense of themselves, and they have a big button that was printed out by a union print shop that says, "We are Acorn, ask us why. So I walked up to them. I said, why? And they started chanting, "We are Acorn, mighty, mighty Acorn." I said, okay, you're protesting Fox. I can understand that. They've broadcasted this vile, hideous series of videos that don't portray you guys as being these benevolent helpers of the poor and the impoverished. "We are Acorn, mighty, mighty Acorn." They start yelling over me. I'm like, you have a unique opportunity here. I'm the guy who unleashed these videos. I mean, take advantage of it. There are more of you than there are me. "We are Acorn, mighty, mighty Acorn." And we're filming them, and you can see they're looking at each other, looking for direction. Where's our community organizer in chief to tell us what to do right now? Because we were programmed to chant and to just look good on television, where ABC, CBS, and NBC would just have gone there with cameras and said, "Community organizing group is upset that their funding was taken away by the government." And then the ABC, CBS, and NBC would have said, "They're a great organization, and these conservative activists did something really mean." The end. And then they'd talk about, stuff. And that's the template. And so what happened in this is they started to realize that I had poured water on their circuitry, and they started to frazzle and buzz. And they split up into two in front of the Fox affiliate, where some of the work on American Idol, I believe, is done. And then they walked across the street to Lamps Plus and protested in front of Lamps Plus. And so I walked across to Lamps Plus to try and talk to them. I said, "I don't understand why nobody wants to talk to me. You have one message, and it says, ask us why. I'm here to ask you why." "We are Acorn." But now they were split up, and it was less effective. And so they just got frustrated. They're like, "Oh," and they just disbanded. And I got home and I couldn't sleep that night. I was like, "Oh my God, that was so fun. This is what I want to do with the rest of my life. Is go to union protests and confront them by myself." And I've done that now, I don't know, like about 5 or 6 times in the last year with cameras following me. And the camera is the greatest instrument known to humankind. And these people are not individuals. They've been community organized. They've been given a series of chants. Many of them are either hired for minimum wage, even though they supposedly represent unions that are supposed to fight for the low-wage worker, or they're homeless people. At the end of the day, a lot of them are just bad, overacting extras. And you feel sorry for them when you start to confront them. And in that one, I started to confront them because they had printed out, incredibly expensive, printed out signs. And I don't know if you remember, I just looked down on this sign that they had, and it said the Union Print Shop. It was literally called the Union Print Shop. I'm like, I knew this was a union rally, and I went like sign to the person. I said, "Your manufactured, pre-manufactured, repetitive signs all say the exact same thing. Glenn Beck lies. Can you please give me one example of a lie?" "Insert water on their circuitry." "I am Andrew, mighty, mighty Andrew. Yes, I am." That's what I'm trying to tell the people out there. You can take on the community organizers out there who use intimidation and bullying in order to silence people. And it's vulgar to think that the President of the United States, in every single one of these protests, has had his fingerprints all over them. I haven't. In the Right Nation one, they disbanded and got into their buses. Not before a rally whose sole purpose was to stop the hate. Because the Tea Parties have been so unbelievably racist, homophobic, colonialist. They've been, and so, stop the hate! Slogan, slogan, slogan. Slogan, slogan, slogan. They get so excited. And I started saying, who here's from the SEIU? Who here's from the SEIU? And you could see their one organizer was like, ooh, this guy has a camera and he's kind of exposing us. This isn't good. It's going to be on camera. It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to make us look stupid. He's going sign to sign to sign. He goes, get away from him. Get away from him. And they start like going away from me, and I start following them. And so their true colors started to come out. And they said, I think he's a fag at the Stop the Hate rally. I said, excuse me? I was like, okay. I said, what did you just say? He said, oh, the person did spit on us as well, but I think it could be argued that it was spittle. But the ABC, CBS, and NBC made this front page, breaking into news that the Congressional Black Caucus had been spit on and called the N-word. Disprove that, but I don't have time to get into the particulars of that. But these people, after they called me that at this rally, I said, why did you do that? This is a Stop the Hate rally. And they said, because the way you talk. All on camera. Content, free content. It's my business model. And so, I've done it a lot now. I just did it. I'm telling you, I don't know if I'm a sick, twisted person. I'm like looking in Craigslist to find rallies just to go. That's my bar trip. And I've gone to a few, and I've gotten a few things on tape. Most recently, I went down with an American hero by the name of Brandon Darby. Brandon Darby was a hardcore left-wing activist who called the FBI and informed on two guys he worked with from the radical activist group Common Cause, or Common Ground. And they were planning on bombing the Republican National Convention. Yes, we're the violent ones in protests. And the left, including Wade Rathke, formerly of Acorn, called Brandon Darby a snitch for saving American lives. I reached out to Brandon Darby and I said, I don't care what your politics are, you're an American hero, and I am forever indebted to for what you've done for this country. And we've become great friends, and I flew him out to Los Angeles. I said, do you want to go to a rally with me? They're really fun. These are all his friends, too. It's a great group bar trick. Okay, so you can do this in packs of upwards of 7 people, but at 8, no, you can all go. We can all go. Let's start creating a Craigslist place where we can meet and go meet the protesters. Well, actually, they're the counter-protesters, so we can be the counter-protesters. And so I went to the Koch brothers event, where, look, this is how the media is done. We've exposed George Soros to the point of absurdity. George Soros, the billionaire who's influencing the political process to an absurd degree. And so the institutional left, they're so predictable, just like community organizing groups that chant, had to come up with a counter-narrative, and that counter-narrative was that the Koch Foundation and the Koch brothers are inherently evil billionaires. And so